It was June 18th, 1942 in Liverpool, England, when and where Paul McCartney was born onto this earth. Stick around, let's talk about Paul. Well, hey there guys, thank you for joining us here at Rock Hard Riffs. This is the guitar channel for the self-taught and other cool rock and roll stuff. And in this episode we're going to pay tribute to Paul McCartney. This is his birthday. He'll be 76. Again, he was born in 1942 in Liverpool, England. Paul McCartney, probably one of, if not the most prolific songwriter, entertainer, musician ever, quite possibly. Paul McCartney is also in the Guinness Book of World Records as the most successful composer of the 20th century. That's quite a feat. Just so many hits. First, we're going to talk about Paul's music post-Beatles. I have something very cool to show you. And this is a promotional world tour pack of the Flowers in the Dirt tour. This is very cool. I'm going to show you all the stuff that's inside. This is one of the things that I have with Paul's. I don't have many things post-Beatles of the Beatles, but this and the All the Best CD is what I have of Paul's. And this is very cool. Let's take a look inside this. There are two really cool posters. You're going to love it. Okay, let's open this up. This is very neat. There are a bunch of photos and assorted goodies in here you're gonna dig. And of course, the album itself, Flowers in the Dirt, the CD that comes with it. And inside, this is very neat, this bumper sticker. I'd rather be listening to McCartney. How neat. And this little tiny CD, this is cool. This is called Party Party. It's a 3-inch CD. Pretty neat, huh? And all these assorted pictures. And this, of course, was when Linda was still with us. So here are the pictures, the photos that come with it. Paul on his cherry sunburst Les Paul, left-handed, very cool. Members of the band at the time. This would have been in the 80s, possibly 90s. So those photos. Now these posters, these are very cool, I'm going to show you. This whole thing is huge, this whole set. First is the World Tour itinerary. As you see, pretty neat. And then these two huge posters. And I'm going to lay those out for you to look at really quickly. And then this just promotional sleeve thing. So I'm going to lay the posters out and let's take a quick look at those. You're going to love these. Okay, here is one of the posters. This thing is big. That's a good 3 feet by 2 feet. It is a big poster. That's pretty cool. That's of the band performing there, of course. Pretty neat. Now let's take a look at the other poster. This poster is very cool. This shows us the lineage from the Quarrymen all the way to the current tour. So 1989. And it goes all throughout his lineage. And that's it. Pretty cool, huh? Now, I'd just like to talk to you briefly about my feelings about Paul and the Beatles, etc. My first recollection of a Beatles song, as far as I can remember, was 1968. I was given Hey Jude Revolution for my 5th birthday late in 1968, in the fall of 68. So Paul McCartney's Hey Jude would have been the first song that I believe I remember hearing of Paul and or the Beatles. Paul has crossed all decades. He's crossed all kinds of music genres. He's been just the leader in so many different ways. His bass playing, his guitar playing, his singing, his songwriting ability, his co-songwriting ability, his live performing ability. Paul is the quintessential performer. He was the least reluctant Beatle, is how I would put Paul. Paul, I think, would have stayed in the Beatles no matter how long. I don't think Paul would have quit the Beatles if it wasn't John that wanted to quit right after this point, right after Let It Be and, of course, Abbey Road, period. There's just not enough that you can say about Paul as a performer, as a musician, as a father. He's a real family man. Just not enough good things to say about Paul. Again, he's been knighted, so he's Sir Paul McCartney. And I just love Paul, and I wish him all the best. And the biggest happy birthday, Paul, to you, turning 76, and many, many more to come. Thank you so much, Paul, for all the music, all the great music. You've inspired me to be a musician. It was the line in Fixing a Hole, the guitar solo in Fixing a Hole, that inspired me to be a guitar player. I just love the sound of that guitar so much. That's what inspired me. And the funny thing is, you know, I've always been such a huge John Lennon fan, but when I've stopped and taken a look back, I know far more Paul McCartney songs on guitar than I do either George or John. So guys, thank you so much for joining us here at Rock Hard Riffs in this salute to the great Paul McCartney. And please join us for further videos. Please subscribe if you enjoy this. And thanks again, and we will see you next video.